We all think there's a limit, right? A line the human body just can't cross. But what about the people who see that line and just step right over it? The ones who look death in the eye and say, not today.
So let me ask you, picture this. It's just you. You're completely broken, totally alone. Rescue? Not happening. So what's the move? Do you just give up? Or do you dig deep and fight back with every single thing you've got? For the people we're talking about today, the answer was easy. They just refused to die.
All right, let's kick things off with a story that's all about pure, raw grit. This is about a guy who got mauled, left for dead by his own men, and basically just decided, nah, dying's not really on my to-do list today. So, we're going way back to 1823, the American frontier. We're following a fur trapper named Hugh Glass, and he is deep in hostile territory. I mean, this place is dangerous, it's completely cut off, and the nearest help? Hundreds and hundreds of miles of brutal wilderness away. So Glass is out scouting ahead of his group, and he makes a huge mistake. He stumbles right into a mama grizzly bear with her cubs. And before he even has a chance to process what's happening, she's on him. The attack is just instant and absolutely savage. What was left of him? Well, it was basically a death sentence. I mean, really, look at this list. We're talking deep gashes down to the bone, his ribs are showing, his leg is snapped clean in two, his throat is sliced open. When his crew found him, for all intents and purposes, the guy was already dead. So his companions, they figure he's gonna die any second. They make this ice-cold decision. They strip him of everything, his rifle, his knife, all his gear, and just leave him. They leave him there to die, all by himself in the middle of nowhere. But here's the thing. Hugh Glass doesn't die. He wakes up, battered, broken, alone, but with this one single thing burning inside him. He literally sets his own broken leg. He starts eating roots, berries, bugs, whatever he can find. And then he starts to crawl. All of it fueled by just one obsession, revenge. He crawls for 6 weeks. Let that sink in. 200 miles. This wasn't just about trying to live. Oh no. This was a man coming back from the dead, powered by nothing but pure, unfiltered rage. Okay, so if Hugh Glass's story was this insane test of physical endurance, our next story is all about the power of the mind. This is about a surgery that happened at, quite literally, the bottom of the world, and it was performed by the only person available who also happened to be the patient. So let me introduce you to Leonid Rogozov. He's a Soviet doctor stationed in Antarctica, and surprise, he gets acute appendicitis. His choices are, well, they're not great. You can see it right here. Option A, wait for a rescue plane that can't possibly get to you and you die. Option B, cut yourself open and try to save your own life. Seriously, there was no one else. The next closest doctor was over 1,000 miles away, and a massive blizzard meant no planes were getting in or out. It was simple. If he wanted to live, he was the only person on Earth who could make it happen. So with just a little mirror to see what he's doing and only local anesthetic, he starts. Can you even imagine the kind of mental strength it takes to slice into your own stomach? The mirror's reflection is backwards and confusing, so he pretty much has to work by feel. At one point, he accidentally cuts his own intestine, has to stop, stitch it up, and then just keep going. It takes him almost 2 hours, but it gets it done. And here's the craziest part. The thing that proves he made the right call. When he finally gets the appendix out, he sees this dark stain on it. It was already going gangrenous. If he'd waited just one more day, it would have burst, and that would have been it. Game over. And get this, just 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after performing surgery on himself in the middle of an Antarctic blizzard, he was back to his regular duties as the station's doctor. I mean, that's just completely mind-blowing. Okay, so we've had a story of surviving with your body and a story of surviving with your mind. Now let's talk about a guy who seemed to survive, well, because he thought it was a good time. Let me introduce you to Adrian Carton de Weert. This guy, during his time in the military, was shot in the face. He was also shot in the head. Twice. And believe me, we are just getting warmed up. Yeah, one of those shots, it cost him his left eye. They gave him a glass eye, but he apparently hated it so much that he just threw it out of a taxi window one day, decided a black eye patch was a better look. Then, his hand gets completely shattered. The doctors didn't want to amputate his mangled fingers, so, he got frustrated and he just tore them off himself. Yeah. The doctors took the hint and removed the rest of the hand after that.
Oh, and he was also shot in the hip, and the leg, and the ear. The guy was basically a walking target. But this one is just on another level. A bullet literally blew a piece off the back of his head. He was in the hospital for a few weeks, and then what do you think he did? He went right back to fighting. I mean, just take a second and look at this tally. This isn't a list of casualties for an entire squad. This is one guy, shot in the face, the head, the hip, the leg, the ear, lost an eye, lost a hand, survived multiple plane crashes. The man was basically unkillable. So after all that, after taking more damage than an entire battalion, what did he have to say about it all? His final thought on a life of constant, brutal war? He said, and I quote, "Frankly, I had enjoyed the war. You can't make this stuff up." So, what are we supposed to take away from all this? I mean, yeah, these stories are totally extreme, but they all point to the same incredible truth. The human will to survive is just unbelievably stubborn. So what was it? For Hugh Glass, was it that burning need for revenge? For Rogozov, was it just pure cold logic? And for De Weerd, was it just that he loved the fight? These stories prove that survival is so much more than just being physically tough. It's about finding something, a purpose so powerful that dying just isn't an option. Which leaves just one question, right? If you were on that edge, what would be the thing that makes you fight back?